They looked like the perfect family, smiling, laughing, untouched by trouble. But one night, a mother opened her husband's computer and realized the danger wasn't outside the house. It had been living with them all along. Stay with us, because this story will change how you see trust forever. Before we begin, take a moment to support Black Inside USA by subscribing. Every story here shines light, truth, and strength where it matters most. The picture everyone envied, the photo is framed on the living room wall. 4 smiling faces in a crystal blue pool, a mother and father holding their children close. Sunlight reflecting off the water like everything in life was exactly where it belonged. Neighbors often said, "You're blessed, your family is beautiful," and Marissa smiled every time she heard it. She believed it too. Her husband, Daniel, was calm, dependable, and respected in their community. He coached youth programs, volunteered on weekends, never raised his voice. Their daughter, Alana, had always needed extra care. She was gentle, trusting, and saw the world with a softness that made Marissa fiercely protective. Their son, Isaiah, was bright and curious, always asking questions, always watching. From the outside, they were the American dream, but dreams don't warn you before they crack. The news that changed everything. Marissa noticed the changes before anyone else did. Alana grew quiet. She stopped humming while folding towels. She flinched when doors closed too hard. One afternoon, Marissa found her daughter sitting on the edge of her bed, staring at nothing. "Baby," she asked gently, "what's going on?" Alana didn't answer. The doctor's office was quiet. Too quiet. When the doctor spoke, Marissa felt the room tilt. Her heart raced. Her breath caught. She didn't cry at first. She went numb. How could this happen? When? Who? Alana couldn't explain clearly. Her words were fragmented, confusing. But one thing was certain. Something was wrong. Very wrong. A mother's instinct. That night, Marissa didn't sleep. She watched Daniel breathe beside her, counted the seconds between his breaths. Her instincts screamed, not accusations, not answers, just a warning, the kind mothers feel in their bones. At 2:17 a.m., she slipped out of bed. Daniel's laptop sat on the desk in the study. She hesitated, then she opened it. The computer. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Emails, work files, calendars. Then she noticed a folder. Unlabeled, her fingers trembled as she clicked. Inside were messages, legal documents, notes. Her heart pounded louder with every scroll. Not what she feared, something worse. Daniel had been hiding conversations with an outside advisor. Someone who specialized in private arrangements. Someone who spoke about Alana not as a child, but as a responsibility to manage quietly. Marissa's stomach dropped. There were plans, delays, discussions about protecting reputations, not protecting Alana, protecting himself. The truth comes together. Marissa sat on the floor until sunrise. The truth wasn't simple, but it was clear. Daniel hadn't caused what happened, but he had known something was wrong. He had dismissed warnings, ignored signs, chosen silence over action, and that silence had consequences. Her hands shook, not with fear, with clarity. The confrontation. Daniel came home that evening smiling. "How was your day?" he asked. Marissa stood up slowly. "We need to talk." Her voice was calm, too calm. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She placed the laptop on the table. "I know everything." Daniel's face changed. Not guilt, fear. The truth spilled out in pieces. Excuses. Justifications. "I didn't think it was serious," he said. "I didn't want to cause problems." Marissa stared at him. "You didn't want to protect your daughter, choosing her child." That night, Marissa packed bags. Not just clothes, documents, medical records, evidence. She took Alana's hand. "You're safe," she whispered. "I promise." Isaiah watched silently, learning what strength looks like. The aftermath. The process was hard, painful, but Marissa didn't flinch. She spoke when her daughter couldn't. She stood when fear tried to break her. And slowly, healing began. Alana smiled again, not the same smile, but a stronger one. The new picture. Months later, Marissa replaced the photo on the wall. It wasn't perfect. It was real. A mother, 2 children, standing together, protected. A house that no longer felt like home. The new apartment was small. 2 bedrooms, thin walls, a humming refrigerator that never stopped. But it was peaceful. For the first time in months, Marissa slept through the night. Alana began therapy sessions. Slow, careful steps toward understanding her own feelings. Isaiah stayed close to his mother, watching, learning, growing older too fast. But peace never lasts when truth is unfinished. The letter, it arrived on a Tuesday morning. Plain envelope, official seal. Marissa's hands tightened as she read. Daniel was contesting custody, claiming misunderstanding, claiming exaggeration, claiming he was still the stable parent. Marissa closed her eyes. So this was his plan. Not remorse, not accountability, control, the strength to speak. The court building was cold and gray. Marissa sat between her children. Alana held her hand tightly. Inside the courtroom, Daniel looked confident, well-dressed, calm, like the man everyone trusted. But Marissa had learned something powerful. Calm faces can hide dangerous choices. When it was her turn to speak, her legs trembled. Her voice did not. She told the truth, about the signs, the warnings, the computer, the silence that caused harm. She spoke slowly, clearly, without anger. Truth didn't need it. When evidence has a voice. Documents were presented, messages, timelines, professional evaluations. Daniel's confident posture faded. For the first time, the room saw what Marissa had seen. Not a monster, but a man who chose himself over responsibility. And that choice had consequences. Alana's moment. No one expected Alana to speak. But she stood. Her voice was soft, yet the room leaned in. She didn't accuse. She didn't cry. She simply said, "I need my mom. She listens. She keeps me safe." That was enough. The decision. The judge spoke carefully, firmly. Custody was granted to Marissa. Protections were put in place. Supervision ordered. Boundaries set. Daniel stared ahead, not angry, empty, because control, once exposed, loses its power. Healing is not loud. Healing didn't look like celebrations. It looked like routines. Breakfast together, therapy appointments, homework at the kitchen table. Alana laughed again. Isaiah smiled more freely. Marissa began to breathe again. A new definition of family. Months later, Marissa stood at the same beach. Not the same pool, not the same picture, but the same sun. Her children ran ahead, unafraid. She realized something then. Family isn't who looks perfect in a photo. It's who stands up when things fall apart. Silence protects nothing worth saving. Truth may hurt, but it heals. And a mother's courage can rewrite an entire future.